Hi, everybody. I cannot believe it's been like forever since we've been live, but we're so excited to have everybody here.
Yes, I am super excited to talk about what we've been up to. We have so much to share. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, I'm Julia. This is Ali. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today to talk about Cherry on Tech. You may be joining us from ADP Liz. You may be joining us from LinkedIn or YouTube. So we are super pumped to have you here. I forgot to share. I forgot to do this from the beginning because we were busy and then I got distracted, but that's all good. So this is the agenda for today. So we have welcome. This is what is happening. We're going to be doing a line acknowledgement, some introductions. We have some juicy gossip about the new things for Cherry and Ted that we've been having. We're going to talk about what everybody's here that is building a skill, confidence, and real experience with a tech squad. And we're going to have some time for open Q&As. So make sure if you have any questions from now to the end, always put them on the comment section. I'm going to be able to see it and we are going to be able to answer them. Line acknowledgement. So we want to take a moment to honor and acknowledge that many of us are joining today from the traditional and ancestral lands of Indigenous people across what is now called Canada and United States. We recognize the deep connection to the land, and we are committing. Okay, we're committing learning from what Indigenous communities as we work towards justice and reconciliation. And I feel like I don't know if this is what is people may be asking what is this knowledge not land acknowledgement about and what are we talking about, but land acknowledgement are ways to recognize that the place that we live, work, and gather physically or virtually exists on a land that have been stewarded by indigenous people for thousands of years. They remind us that colonization isn't about just history, is still ongoing. This acknowledgement invite us to reflect about our place with the systems and take meaningful steps towards reconciliation, justice, and respect. For communities like Cherry and Tech that are committed to equity and inclusion, land acknowledgement are ways to show up with intention, humility, and willingness to learn from indigenous voices. And this is like invitation for everybody, wherever you are located, to find out the indigenous name of the lands that you are. For us here in Canada and US, this is called the Turtle Island. So I feel like this is a good way to again be aware of what is happening, or what had happened. Introductions. Ali, who are you? Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I have to tell this.
Yeah.
So I was filling out like all the visuals for Cherry on Tech for this event. And then I know that you got a new job. And then I go into your LinkedIn and I'm like, what? You never told me that you work at Webflow. This is so exciting. Anyway, Ali, who are you? Yes.
Yes, I'm 𝗬𝗓𝗓. I'm a software engineer at Webflow. I specialize in infrastructure engineering, and yeah, I started working there like 4 months ago now, and it's been great. And I love working on tools that help empower other people to build amazing things. It's very similar to what we do here at Cherry on Tech.
So, like, what is this? You never told me. That's a big news. I know that you were looking for a job, and it was a long process and it was a lot of work. But this is like a big celebration, regardless, of course, regardless where you work. But I feel like Workflow is like such a great company.
Yeah, it is a great company. Yeah, and then besides working full time, I guess I love doing what I do here with Cherry on Tech as an organizer, but also I work with my own tech squad, and we're going to be talking a lot about tech squads today. So I'll probably be telling lots of stories from my experience on my squad that I've been with for like 5 years now. And besides all that, I like to be outside and rollerblade, ride my bike. I've been doing aerial silks classes, so now I'm feeling circusy.
I feel like I'm missing so much of like what has been happening in your life.
Yes, I've been busy. I've been just yeah, getting more active. I'm located here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and yeah, that's a little bit about me. Go ahead, Juliet, tell us about yourself.
Yes, thank you. I was just like, I need to tell this. Hi, everybody. I'm Julian, my pronouns are she, her, originally from Colombia, but I've been living in Canada for the last, I keep confusing it. I say 17, 18 years, something around there. I'm a senior product designer in the mental health and benefit space here in Canada. I'm moving, so I was like, it's too late to hide my background, so I'm going to embrace it. I'm moving, so there's a lot of stuff going on in my apartment. Usually, it's like a pretty beautiful background, and I have lights and all stuff, but I'm packing. Um, yeah, so beside working full time, so I feel like something that we forgot to say. We do this as a volunteer. We put a lot of hours here as a volunteers, and we've been doing this for a while. I will talk more about Cherry and Tech, that I will talk about my job. Everybody knows about this. Uh, I volunteer in different organizations at the moment too. I don't know where do I get the time, but I do now. Like this week, we just launched a Latinx community here in Vancouver. We have our first event that it was in person. It was so cool. We have around 40 people joining. I have a scooter that I love to ride in summer here in Vancouver. I do CrossFit. Um, what else? Yeah, I mean, again, I do so many things, but those are the main ones. Next thing on the list for us is we've been a little bit quiet for the last kind of 6 months, and we got a lot of people telling us that they want to sign up for the program and they want to do all this stuff, and we put a pause. So we want to kind of tell you what we've been working on. So we are officially a Canadian registered nonprofit. That this is really big for us. We are hoping to get more, I would say, money, grants, sponsorship because of this. For example, we already got sponsorships from Google to get, I mean, maybe it's not big for a lot of people, it's big for us. We got a sponsorship to get workspace with Google. We just got it like yesterday. We already have like Figma, and we have um, gift tacos that and pool and the pool for Slack. All of these because we are nonprofit and because what we do. So it's really exciting. We have a new logo. So I feel like if you go wherever you go, if you go to LinkedIn, YouTube, you will see our new logo. You will see our new colors. That is so exciting. Thank you so much for the team. They worked so hard last year in this and looks amazing. Because we have a new look, a new website is coming. It's coming soon. That's going to be really cool too. We have a tech squad working in this that is really nice. A big one, I feel like why a lot of people is here is for our full cohort. And we've been working again with a lot of volunteers to make this happen between the branding, the new website, the program, all the social media, the newsletter. There's a lot of people behind the scene to make this happen. So that's what we've been doing pretty much all this time. Do I have something after this? I don't think so. I feel like this is the last thing from my presentation. Now we can go into the questions. What inspired us to start Cherry and Tech? So back, I feel like I have told this story to so many people. But again, if you have never heard about us, this is the first time. We started Cherry and Tech back in 2020. We got together at that time, it was like a team, a group of people wanted to work together. And we learned to, I mean, oh my goodness, I should have known this because this is the newsletter that came out yesterday. If you haven't signed up, this is the whole story of Cherry and Tech. Mariana did such a great job of telling how it's, I was just so surprised because she went, I mean, I'm now telling different things, but she went into all our social media stuff that we have said and done, and she just put a really nice summary about where we came from. But we learned about what is a tech squad and how to work together, and we thought, okay, this is kind of what we are. We are a group of people that want to empower, that want to grow our skills and we want to work in things, I feel like we're a tech squad. So I feel like since 2020, we've been working together. I'm not part anymore of the OG Cherry Squad, but we work together. We have different projects during the time, and we keep adding people to our squad to have different, again, projects, different skill sets. Sometimes the tech squads will work in projects. Sometimes we work in like, are we getting together in person? That's kind of something that we work something together. And then uh, the main idea of all of this is for underrepresented genders, so women, non-binary, and trans folk, to get together, are working projects, develop their skills, feel confident, and have a group of people that they feel like they can get together to be better. So that's why we started Sharing Tech. Ali, how would you describe in one sentence? It could be more than one sentence. Our mission.
Yeah, I would describe our mission to like build and grow a community of tech squads, and then I can talk a lot longer about what that means to be a tech squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the vision for a tech squad is that space to build your skills and get support, and have a space, a digital space, online space, whatever kind of space to do that, and people who are kind of doing the same thing. So like Juliet said, when we got together 5 years ago, that's one of the things we valued so much about working together, was that we were a group of 4 women at that time, and that felt like a really unique experience in tech, especially to be working together like that. And we wanted to create that for more people.
Yes. Oh, I forgot. Where are my questions? Okay, and I feel like these lines up really well for what you were saying. Is like, why do we focus on underrepresented genders only? So again, women, non-binary, and trans folks.
Yeah, just especially tech being a male-dominated field, it's meaningful to have a space where that's not the case, and we're creating that space in our community. And there's a lot of organizations that exist to create those spaces as well. So we're kind of trying to offer something that what's unique of what we're offering is that we want people to be working together in tech squads and see the value and support they can get from working with each other. Yeah, what would you say?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like I should have brought my presentation. We have done research about the gaps between, again, women, again, underrepresented genders, and male in the industry. And it's not just about representation, but salary, who gets into the leadership roles, people, like I said, a lot of folks that are entering tech as an underrepresented gender, they don't feel safe and they just leave. So it's not just get people into the door, but for them to stay and feel confident and be able to grow and feel safe. So I feel like that's a big one. So that's been really important for us. And I will say that absolutely everybody on the organization, so not just the participants, but volunteers, mentors, everybody is, again, underrepresented genders. What makes Cherry and Tech different from another tech communities or programs?
Yeah, I think that both having the space, like we're talking about, as underrepresented genders in tech, and with being sort of matched in a tech squad really is unique from other programs because it's really about the support you get from your squad. It's not about like all the outcome of everything you're creating together. You're not doing it for anyone else. Like all the projects you do are for yourself and your squad. And I think a lot of communities that I've seen out there also tend to be like organized around different roles in tech. So you might be a part of a designer community or a dev community. And that's something that we feel like there's a lot of value. We've, like, from the very beginning, we've always felt a lot of value in working cross-functionally on a squad. And that's part of what really means to be on a squad, is being able to work the way that you would work professionally and be able to gain that experience of working with people in different roles. So that's something I would say, or I would highlight as being unique. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like I let's say that you are already in a tech squad, me as a designer, and I want to give it a try, maybe a little bit, get more involved into product management. Maybe I'm interested in some and develop different skills. And that's what a tech squads kind of give you, that space and opportunity to do that. I feel like there has been a lot of interest for people to move forward and have that. We can create a project based on this. Let's say in my interest to try something different and learn something different. But the good thing is absolutely everybody on the squad will get the experience to work together in a project. I think something that I like about the squads is there is no rigidness about how do we work, and that's something different from like a project based or different other programs. I would say that I don't know how to name the onboarding program or the cohort program, is that yeah, there is a little more structure, but at the same time we want to really make sure that people is open to tell us how they're feeling, what are they doing, how we can improve it. So yes, I feel like the being so organic in how we work is really nice. We're trying to take away what the system and like organization have tell us that how we have to work and how do we have to function. These decisions are making for based on the tech squads and what they wanted to do and how they want to work together. So I feel like that's something really powerful that we have. And we put a lot of emphasis on the tech squads as being the main source and the heart of everything that we do in Cherry and Tech. So yeah, I feel like that's something else different.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can I share a moment when I felt really impacted by Cherry and Tech? I always say Cherry and Tech has been the space that helped me to land my first role, mostly because I was able again to work in a cross-functional space that me as a designer, when I finished my cohort program, was really important. Is how do I get my hands on in working with people, in developing how do I talk to developers, how do I talk to PMs, what is Agile, what is Jira, what are tickets, like they don't teach you these during the school. You need to learn this in a work environment. And if you don't have a job, then you don't get the experience. So for us, this was really impactful that you get to do this in a tech squad. And again, if you're thinking to work in a tech squad and you have those kind of questions, say, hi, hey, I have never worked in Agile. I don't know what is a Jira ticket. What are they for? What is GitHub? That's the whole point of working in a tech squad, to have that space and to be able to have all these questions and people to have around you to like, yeah, it's okay. Let me show you. Let's do it together. Let's work in a project so you can learn about that. So for me, it makes me feel more confident. Now I can go on interviews and talk about my experience, how I work with people. So many different things. And even now that I have a job, is I'm developing different type of skills, is more about leadership, planning, organizing. So again, that's part of a tech squad. I'm just building those skills just in a different type of avenue. What about you?
Yeah, when I felt just really impacted, I definitely feel like working on kind of side projects and stuff, I always thought that would be really fun to do outside of my job, because I was already working in tech for like 5 years, but I never wanted to like build a website by myself, and I didn't really have design skills. I was like, anything I'd build would look terrible. So I never really figured out like how to go about it on my own. And yeah, I don't know why, but it did feel like a big barrier to find just like anybody out there that was a designer or another developer who would like want to do something with me. Like, it wasn't meeting that many people, or yeah, it just seemed hard. And so like having like Cherry on Tech just be a place that's like doing the matchmaking and putting me together with those people. Like it was as simple as Juliet and Novella and Adrienne, our other developers on the squad originally, just being like, hey, we're looking for a PM, and just like kind of having it all come together and being like, oh, we can build something together and help each other in this very safe space. I think that's where I've just really felt the impact, because it felt like I didn't really have much of a community in tech before that. It was like I had the people I knew at work, and then just kind of not like maybe events I would go to or whatever, but nobody I was really like working with to grow my skills. Yeah.
Love it. And I feel like this is maybe a nice way to move into the next question. And we are super excited about this. It's something that has been in our mind since we started the cohort program. And I would say that when we started the cohort program, I mean, I've been picking on Ali like for a while. It's like, let's do this, let's do this. And I feel like when finally we decided to do it back in 2022, at the end of 2022, it was like, I mean, I'm the type of person that is like, let's jump into this, let's see what happened. And Ali's like, no, let's see, let's sit down, let's talk about this. So I feel like it's again a good combination between the two of us, a good balance. So at that point, we didn't have that much time to think how we would call the program. So we ended up calling it the cohort program. So that's the question for you. Why do we change the name of the cohort program to the onboarding program?
Yes, we definitely at the time we were talking about it, like we were thinking of all the different ways that we could explore that we could help make successful tech squads and put people together and have them understand our vision for a tech squad. And we had this idea about working together in like a cohort, which to us meant like having a group, maybe 3 or 4 squads all together, kind of going through the experience of like learning how to be a tech squad essentially. So then we started calling it the cohort program. But we've realized over time, the goal of the cohort program has always been to really just be an onboarding for people to understand how to be a tech squad and continue to work together. Because again, like I said, a tech squad's not just about like working on a project and finishing the project and then piecing out. It's really more about the relationships you're building with your squad and helping each other grow. So it's can be lifelong, and it might be something that is present in your life for a while, and maybe you have some other things to take care of and you can come back to, because it's a community. So we feel it's more appropriate and accurate to call it the onboarding program, because what we're doing in the program is taking you through, well, first we're putting you in a squad, doing the matchmaking, and then we're taking you through your first project together as a squad. We're have like a week by week curriculum of how to get from, nothing, just like the idea space, to 15 weeks later, you have like an MVP of a website that's launched and live on the web. And that's really the goal for all the projects with your squad, is to have something to show for your work, because that's what's most impactful for everyone. Is you can go to a website and say, hey, I made these designs, and the devs can say, hey, I built this, and the PMs can say, yeah, I managed this project. So we walk you through how to do that, and then we really hope that through that experience you've started to build the relationships with your squad members, and you keep meeting and keep building whatever inspires you and whatever you're interested to learn, and continue to grow together. And then we help, we continue to help you find new people for your squad as people come and go. But yeah, that's why we call it the onboarding program now, because that's what it is. Yeah. Do you have any?
No, I was so excited because I mean, it sounds like we thought about this for long, but Ali just brought it up to me like maybe, I don't know, a month ago, and he's like, oh, this is perfect, and this is what we've been looking for. And again, yeah, that's the whole idea that's been always for this program, is like how to teach you and for you to feel confident to work with others, and how to keep empowering each other in a space in this case for it to build a project, but to keep building projects after. And again, like I was saying, when we talk about project, is not to build just a website. This could be after the program could be like, okay, let's come back into the group. Let's talk about what is next for us. That's still working together, and it's just so powerful. Again, it could be like we were saying, I was saying before, we met, I don't know, we met 2 years ago in person. Yes, I feel like it was 2 years, and that was one of our projects. That was in that time. It was like, how do we get together? When are we doing this? What do we would like to do? Sometimes at the end of the year, we always planning like a secret Santa, like an end of the year party. That's still working together, and it's just so powerful. And I feel like sometimes because we relate teamwork so much, let's say to school or to work, and it has an end time. Yes, that we finish a project and that's it. We don't need to be working together anymore. But seeing how others can impact your life and how you can get challenged and how you can learn is really powerful. And we were so excited at the beginning to share these with different people, and that's what we opened our space to more, for them to see this is really nice and have people that love you and care about you, even you haven't never met them in person, and just because you're working together is really good. And I feel like with everything happening in the world at this moment, to have community and to have people around you that really care and want to help you out is really amazing. And yeah, it's really nice to see people around that. I lost my question.
I
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. You know where we are. Yes.
Yeah, I can ask you a question.
Well.
Just to dive a little bit more into some of the details of the onboarding program. Can you walk through a typical week in the program and what it looks like?
And I love these questions because we have three type of roles on a tech squad. I keep like in tech squads that are outside the onboarding program. Sorry, the onboarding program. We have more roles that we try because it's a little bit easier to manage and to find people for this role outside of the program. But in the program, we have three roles. So we have a UX designer, we have a product manager, and we have developers. And if I think as a UX designer, how a week looks like, I would say the first month and a half for designers are so busy. There is a lot of happening between research, um, talking to people, talking about the problem space, developing workshops, working closely with the PM. There's a lot going on. So I would say the first, yeah, 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks for designers, a little bit heavier because of the type of work. And as a designers, that's usually what will happen at the beginning of any project. There will be a lot of stuff that we need to get ready to be presented to the developers. Um, so yeah, it will be the good thing about this is that we will guide you to the whole thing. We will tell you what to do as a designer, what to do as a PM, and what to do as a developer. So it's not that we just throw you into fire and try to figure out what to do. That sometimes that happen at work. So no, we want to guide you. We want to take you to what you have to do. What how we designed the program is based a lot of in our experience working with in different projects in different spaces. So we try to do our best to bring all of that knowledge into the program and how we build it. So you feel like this is really relatable and this is how you will see it at work. So yeah, it will be really different for each week, but then you will have a global meeting at the beginning of the week. And these ones global meetings are going to be every other week. What happened in global meetings, we will tell you, hey, this is all the tasks that you have to do. This is the things that you have to concentrate in the week. We will have a page. We will have all the different tasks for me as a designer. I will go into them and check them in. We have as a designers another two designers that we can partner up with. So you will get the experience to work in that environment to share responsibilities, how to work together. That is an experience that you need to have to work in the real world. So that's why we're trying to bring it to you. And then as the weeks go, you keep working together. Then I'll say after the first 7 weeks, design will slow down a little bit, because then we hand off that to developers. I'm not saying at this point that developers haven't seen anything. No, the developers have seen all of these too, but they're not working, doing all the hands-on work for this. And then I think design will get busy a little bit at the end again, when they have to do the final presentation, put together a deck, yeah, for the presentation, and the ℵ fidelity and everything. But I feel like that's a really quick and complicated way to think things. But what about you, Ali? What can you take us about developers and PMs?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about the developer and product manager experience in the program, starting with the product managers. The product manager role is interesting because we do only have 3 roles on the squads, which depending on the size workplace you're in, there may be like responsibilities that are shared or that are, separated with other specialties. So the product managers are doing a bit of that project management, and they're also like really focused on helping the team define like what they can build in the 15 weeks, because our biggest goal is to have something to show for your work at the end of it. You could have all the skills to build the most amazing thing, but if you can't do it in the 15 weeks, then it's really tough, because people are out there trying to apply for jobs and like build their portfolios. So the timeliness is like a really important part of working professionally, and PMs really help drive that for their team through prioritization and a lot of like facilitating activities for the team to really understand what they're building and why they're building it and who they're building it for. So working closely with the designer at the beginning, working through the personas, understanding the requirements, and defining the MVP, or the minimum viable product that you can build, and really just going super deep into conversations about like, how do we build, like, you have to understand your team's skills to be able to build something in the time frame. You can't like set the scope of something without understanding the people on your squad. So it's just a really key role. And there's no like competition between squads of like, there's no defined output you have to get to. So it's really about understanding like, what do we think we can build as a squad in 15 weeks? And the success is so much greater to have, even if it's like a very simple website, to have finished that together than to have set like, a huge vision that you never get to, and then everyone feels really bummed out about it. So product manager will be doing that. And then you really get into those interesting conversations with developers around measuring risk, as engineers are going to be just essential in those conversations. So if you're talking about like, is this feasible? Can we even do this? Like, how long do we think it would take? What does it cost? Like, you need everybody in those conversations. So yeah, the product manager will continue to do prioritization and be working closely with devs and designers to clarify requirements. There's always something you didn't think of as you start developing. So
I mean, this happened in real life. This is not just like in Sharon said. I feel like right now we're working a project that is like, yeah, we're ready. And then I feel like every time that we come together every week, it's like, oh, we didn't think about this. What will happen? I'm like, oh yeah, good point. So
there's no perfect plan. It doesn't exist, and things are always changing. So you learn a lot of the Agile methodology and responding to change, and how, what the processes look like professionally that you would see people doing. So yeah, I think it's a really great opportunity for getting experience with that, because especially as a product manager, if you wanted to build a portfolio, it would be very challenging to do that on your own without some kind of development or design skills. So being able to work with those roles is super key. And then for developers, you are building a greenfield project, as it's called, or just something that from scratch. So there's no existing code base that you're working in. You'll be we have a guide for setting up like a new project, and all of the kind of things you would want to add, and learning how to do the pull request process, which is something you'll like commonly find as a developer in a lot of workplaces, and sort of setting up a deploy pipeline and just getting super familiar with not just programming but delivering software as well. And I think that's and then once design has had a chance to kind of figure out more of like what it is that we're building, then you really get into building all the features, and then you get to have all the conversations about all the things you run into that you're like, hey, we thought this would work, but it's not working, and I'm blocked on this because of this dependency. And yeah, you'll get to work through all those things, and just work towards, like I said, a finished product at the end. And finished product doesn't mean we stayed up all night trying to build X, Y, and Z. It means like I communicated what I could get done in the time that I had, and we adjusted based on, what we thought we could do versus what we've been able to do now. So yeah, I think a lot of this experience is similar from that perspective for all the roles, is that you're communicating with each other constantly about what you're doing, how far you've gotten, what you're blocked on, what you need. And that's like such a huge expectation at work professionally to be able to do that. So I think that's super valuable experience.
Definitely. I mean, this is again a good one for our next one, is like, what do people get surprised about the program? And I feel like I feel the struggle, and I love this one. I love the struggles, and I love when people is like they don't know what they're doing, and it's like, what do I do next? And that's what building this space, to have those kind of struggles, and to be able to ask questions and have people around you that are struggling and trying to find the solution together. I feel like when you are starting a new job and you have never had this experience, it's hard. It's hard to be struggling and you don't know who to ask because they've been already there. But I feel like for the tech squad to get together and find out that they can do it together, and maybe they have to do something more easy to do or more feasible, because what they were thinking is, we don't have the tools and we don't have the time. That's really cool. I feel like people figured out these answers. I think I love usually that first month, everybody's like, oh no, I don't think that I can do this. This is really hard. And they're always so surprised. So we want to tell you this from the beginning. It's not an easy space, because everybody's new. Everybody's knowing each other. The way of communicating, the way of working is really different. We come from different backgrounds and different spaces. And I would say the same as us, everybody's volunteering their time. Yes, it's something that they want to grow, so they're putting the time to do this. So they have to do this outside of work, life, family, whatever is happening. So I feel like juggling all of that is interesting, and I feel like people is surprising for them how to do it and how to get there. But again, to have a space where you can communicate that and say that, I mean, we cannot do this. We have to slow down. And maybe we don't need to bring the 10,000 different pages that we want a website, and maybe just do 2. That is okay, because this is not about how shiny is your project, but it's how you working together, how you are communicating, how you are exchanging ideas, and going around roadblocks and solutioning together. I feel like that's so powerful, and people sometimes forget these skills are so valuable when you are interviewing, when you are talking to people, when you're telling your story about your journey and how you're learning. This is fire that you can talk about this and have the experiences. So again, I call this a lot of times a passion project. Is so powerful, but people, I feel like I sometimes, again, and I explain this a lot and I talk a lot to people, because for me, passion projects has been the catapult for me to grow into my career where I am today. Has not been work, because at work you are so busy. Again, I was telling Ali, I'm being so busy that I cannot even breathe. But again, do I have a space for leadership at my work? I work in 4 projects at the moment, 4 projects that I'm the individual contributor as an individual. So it's a lot of stuff that I have to do. So I don't have time, that space to do a lot of leadership there. I do it here in Cherry and Tech. So again, I feel like is surprising for people that they can find how to develop their skills outside of work. And it's all about storytelling and how you're telling people that this is powerful and it's been useful and you have grown and you have learned. So I feel
Yeah,
like that's people what get surprised with.
yeah. I would add one thing to that, which is that you, what was I going to say? Just, well, two things, I guess, because the last thing you said definitely made me think of how valuable it is to just be able to talk about your experience. Like anyone who's looking for a job, no matter really where they are in their career, I say, oh, you should join a tech squad, because that is the most valuable, like, kind of experience that you can share when you're job searching. And it's like you just met with your tech squad a day ago and you have an interview and something comes up in your interview and you're like, oh yeah, I was just talking to my tech squad about that. And you're engaging in the work that you're being interviewed to do, essentially. So it's like really, I think the best way, like you said, is just gives you so much experience to share. And it's really just about the experience. It's not about the output of what you created. It's being able to say, I had this really hard conversation with the designer and we weighed the trade-offs of this. And it doesn't really matter how big or small that is. You're still doing it, through this experience working with the squad. There was something I was thinking of, but I'll come back to me later.
Okay. Okay. What kind of support can participants expect from the program, Ali?
Yes. So mentorship is something we've focused on since the beginning of the program. And especially because when we started the program, we wanted to target or offer it to people who were, new to tech. They've had maybe they've been through a boot camp of some kind. They're thinking, oh, I really want to start interviewing and looking for jobs, but I feel like I'm, not quite there. Like maybe in a few months I'll be ready. And so we wanted to have mentors there to offer, just that real, like, people who are actually in those roles and experienced to help out. But we have another change that we're trying out this cohort that we're excited about. And that is that we want to invite people of all experience to join our onboarding program and be a part of our community, because our first squad was mixed levels of experience. People who've been working in tech for 5 years or 10 years, or maybe as a freelancer for 3 years, and then just started working professionally, just all different kinds of experiences. And we think that will be a really cool change to our program, especially as we're moving forward, thinking of it as an onboarding into our community. And our community is for people of all different experience levels. While we think that there's like a really large benefit to people who are new, there's also a lot of benefit to people who have been working and are still looking for community in tech and still wanting to grow their skills in a way that they, like you said, maybe can't do at work. So we are super excited about introducing that into the onboarding program. Do you want to share some more about that?
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like this is something that Ali has thought about for a long time, and then we keep thinking how we can do it. That's why we brought mentors, and that's why we have mentors. But we have seen the benefits again through the OG squad and the tech squad that is working right now on website. We have a mixed level of experiences, so that allow us to give a little more flexibility I think for us a lot to not overseeing and micromanaging the teams, and give a little more ownership and accountability to the tech squads to work by themselves beyond like having a mentor and us overseeing that. It's because these people with experience, they know how to work in a real space. So besides, let's say if I am a product designer that want to get into more like a senior role, I need to get that kind of ownership and a little more decision making into the project. This will give me allowed to do that, but at the same time, it will allow me to work with and mentor new designers into into a tech squad. So again, it's them, other designers will learn from me, from my experience in real environment. I will learn from them and grow my skills. So it's like a win for absolutely everybody, and it's been so powerful for everybody in a way to have that knowledge and share that knowledge. And again, that's what is community about, to share the knowledge and be there. So that's why again is so powerful.
Yeah, I'm excited about the potential it has for just helping the squads be just more self-sustaining, because the vision for our community is that your squad has a lot of autonomy, but in having autonomy, there is more work you have to do to sort of manage your squad. And Cherry on Tech's here as a community to support every member of your squad, to support your squad by helping you find new people to join, or helping you connect with other squads in our community and have opportunities like events and other connections that we're making. But at the end of the day, your closest connections are to your squad members, and by having those mixed experience levels, we think it'll really benefit everybody and give more stability to squads who sometimes you have. We've seen squads that are a bunch of people who are new and they gain some experience, and then they get a job and they're like, oh, just starting my first job and it's a lot and I need a break. But then if everybody on the squad is in that position, we're very happy that they're working, but it also makes it difficult for the squad to continue. So we think having just more mixed experience will bring some stability to the squads.
Yes, we love it. Something else new that is happening is we used to have the global meetings every week. So we are moving it to every other week. I feel like these will give spaces for the tech squads to kind of have more space for them to work. And then again, we will still have the guidance to the content that we share with them. But I feel like it will give them more space for, again, working together. It's still, tech squads are getting together once a week. So they have like a tech squad meeting that usually happen either on Sundays or Mondays, because the global meeting is on Sunday. So they can have all this content and then get together to plan the weeks ahead. Plus, this was give us more like a sprint kind of a space, similarity to Agile. So I feel like that's the other why. But we're excited about the changes, see what happened. We need to test how it goes, to see how people is doing, and then we adjust based on that.
Yes.
I feel like we have like a couple of minutes left. So I want to share the link for people to sign up for this if people is interested, because it's already open and it's ready for people to sign up. So I'm going to share the link on the different spaces. You can sign up here. Do I click? No, I didn't copy the test. But okay, while I do this, Ali, what is a question that, okay, what happens after the 15 weeks? What do the squads usually keep going? What happened? What is our dream?
Yes. So yeah, our vision for tech squads and what we found as we formed our tech squad originally is that more than the projects that we're building, what the value of the tech squad is the relationships we're building and the support that we're getting from each other and support we're giving to each other. And so while we have this program that has a start and an end date of 15 weeks, that really just serves to help give people sort of an upfront expectation and commitment to the other people in their squad, and so that it can really kick off. Like, it can be hard. People have things in their lives that come up and reasons that they can't make it and stuff, and so we feel like having 15 weeks of like a dedicated commitment helps a tech squad really like just get started together. And it's not the end, it's really just the beginning. So like we said, it's onboarding into our community and into how to be a squad and work together. And so after the 15 weeks of the onboarding program, we hope that you've seen how to take, go from the idea space all the way to launch, and that you can continue to do that on your own. So the community, you're still a part of our online community, and you can get the support from all of our other squads and our Slack, where you can talk to people, and the mentors are still there. But you're just less a part of this sort of, organized, like you're not a part of this sort of structured program. You're much more autonomous, and it's up to you as a squad. Like, do we want to keep meeting on this day? Do we want to change it? What is the pace we want to go at that works for us? Like, that will just keep fluctuating and changing depending on who's in your squad. And you can say, do we want to have more or less people on our squad? What kinds of roles do we want to have? What do we want to work on next? So just have like all that autonomy and freedom after the 15 weeks. And the 15 weeks onboarding is not meant to sort of take that, it's not meant to keep you from that autonomy. It's there to help empower you to know how to kind of move forward after that.
Love it. Yes. Something I'm like, yeah, sign up for the cohort. When is this happening? I was like, I feel like if people want to know, I should have prepared a pretty presentation. I don't. So bear with me. I'm going to present a little bit the screen. Which one is the one that I want? I think it's this one. So when you go into the registration form, you can get to see all the dates. So registration's open. We open it up for those folks that have been interested in joining the cohort program for like 6 months. So they have the chance to sign up before anyone else. But if you're interested, again, if you are an underrepresented gender, again, women, non-binary, or trans folk in tech, you can sign up for this. We will be closing registration by August 7th, but they will be closing sooner. Because depending on how many people applying, we don't want to break too many hearts, so we close it early. After that, you will receive like a notification that you have been partnered up in a tech squad, and that means that you are into the program. Something new that we're having here too that we didn't share, we're going to have 2 intro sessions where you get to ask a lot of questions. We want to make sure that this is our right space and right program for you. So we are going to have 2 sessions for those who are part of the program. And then do I have the dates? Is going to be September 7th to December 21st is going to be the cohort. So it's around the corner. Again, everything is happening so fast. We will be doing another, I feel like we need to talk about this, but I think we will be doing maybe another info session to share all of these again. But again, sign up if you want to sign up. Registrations are open and they will close August 7 or sooner if we reach capacity. So those are the dates for the cohort, September 7th to December 21st. I feel like we've been talking about this forever, that I cannot believe that it's finally here.
Yeah, I would add one more thing just to everybody listening, if you're thinking about it. Just know, like, our community is for everyone who's an underrepresented gender in tech and who's interested at all skill levels. And our process for the onboarding program is not an interview process. It's not a selection of who's the best or anything like that. Like, this isn't, we want this to be as far away from what it's like to actually get a job. And we would love to have everybody who's interested join us, but we just limit the number through our onboarding program purely because of our capacity and what we can support. And we wouldn't want to like have a bunch of people join that we couldn't actually offer a quality program to. So that's why we want to continue to grow our community and appreciate our volunteers, because that's going to help us just support more people who want to join. And if you don't happen to make it into this upcoming cohort for the onboarding program, just reach out to us. And like, what we're doing here is just trying to help people get together to work together. And if you if you don't want to do that with us, you can still do it on your own. Or if you have a designer and a PM and you're a dev and you want to work with them, let us know and we can support you the best we can. Bring your own squad if you have one, or just get out there and try to talk to people. We're here to try to help make that happen, but it's not the only place for it. And we just want people to, we want to be a community for people who are doing that, but that doesn't mean you still can't do it on your own if you like the idea and want to go for it. But please reach out to us, even if we can't get you into this onboarding program. We always have different opportunities popping up on other squads. So we'll always do our best to get you in our community as quickly as we can. And yeah, we want to just include as many people as we can. So let us know if you're interested.
Something that we forgot, this is free. There is no price for absolutely anyone who joins the program. That's a big differentiation from us and other programs. Oh, yeah. This is free. We don't want to cause more burrs about money and cost, because there is programs outside of us that they cost money, and we know that people come from schools that cost money, and then if they want to build like a resume or something, that sometimes costs money. To build a website, that costs money. We don't want this to cost money for everybody. We want to put that barrier away for people to join and build their experience. So, I mean, really cool. Really cool. Yes. I don't know. Is there anything else to add? We are about time, but this was so good. I don't see any questions. If you have any questions, make sure that you write it down now. You have like a couple of seconds for us to do it. But yeah, again, you're going to start registering for this right now. Dates are, we start September 7th to December 21st. If you go into the application, you will have more information. I just don't want to show you our old website, but I'm going to do it even if it hurts. It's still our current website, so I shouldn't complain. But all the information is there. That's what you need. If you want to know more about the cohort program. Oh, we need to change that, Ali. We're not called the cohort program anymore. We are the onboarding program. But then you get to understand what is a tech squad, who should join, some program details, the program structure, some of the key features of what we do. Again, I will share these on here too for people to know more about it. But yeah, we're excited. I didn't see any questions coming up.
I see just one about how we register, and just use the link, and I'm assuming you'll share the link on other platforms on social media too.
I feel like a good one too is just go to LinkedIn and find us. I feel like that's a big one and easy for us to keep everybody in one place. Just go to our LinkedIn. But okay, I can share that too here. Hold on. A good eye. Thank you, Natasha. We're excited, Natasha. We get to meet. Oh, the event, the Latinx that I did the other day, I met so many people.
Nice.
So many people is 2 people, but that's a lot of people because we are a remote online community. So when you meet someone in person, it's like, it's so nice. It's so nice to see people. Okay, where is this link? Okay, hold on, Natasha. I got you. Okay.
Fill out the form.
Yes.
The participant registration form.
And the registration form again here. But yes, this is what you need to do. Just follow us in LinkedIn. That's a good one. Always easy. All the information that we share is usually there. And then sign up on the form. This is it. This was good, Ali. We thought that this was going to be like a half an hour really fast, but we keep talking.
We love to talk about it. Yes. Thank you all for listening, and we hope to hear from you.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Bye, Juliet.